Masa here. Now, when it comes to hobbies, I have a lot of them. Some inside and some outside the fandom. One of my biggest hobbies is playing video games. Primarily games made by Nintendo. But out of all of Nintendo series that popped up over the years, one Nintendo series caught my heart many years ago. And that game series being The Legend of Zelda. Starting out as a game for the NES in 1986, The Legend of Zelda is a video game series that entails the story of a pointy-eared boy named Link embarking on a quest to save the Princess of Hyrule, Zelda, from the evil king Ganon. The series has spanned over several of Nintendo's home and portable consoles across 3 decades of players worldwide. And with the influx of Zelda fans growing ever since the release of Breath of the Wild, it becomes no secret that the Legend of Zelda series is easily one of Nintendo's biggest series yet. But the Legend of Zelda series isn't solely just tethered to a video game medium. Like a Japanese-only CD drama, an 80s cartoon...
Well, excuse me, princess!
Which we do not speak about. And, of course, books. Or in today's case, comic books. More specifically, manga. For those of you who don't know, manga is effectively the term used to identify Japanese comic books, with some notable ones in the industry such as Akira Toriyama's Dragon Ball and Ichiro Oda's One Piece. My personal manga collection is pretty small. And giving credit where credit's due, it all started with 2 particular manga that started off my manga journey. Well, my physical manga journey, that is. Allow me to introduce you to Akira Himekawa, who is not one entity, but actually 2 women, A. Honda and S. Nagano. Since 1991, they've worked on manga together, working on such titles as The Dragon Dreams of Twilight and the 2003 reboot manga of Astro Boy. But their claim to worldwide fame was in 1999 when they released The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time Parts 1 and 2, based on the 1988 Nintendo 64 game of the same name. It sold like crazy in Japan. It was later released in North America in 2008, published by Viz Media. And since then, they've been in charge of making all of the Zelda manga from then on out, even today with the recent The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess manga volumes. The series was later reprinted in 2016 as The Legend of Zelda Legendary Edition, and was released in Mexico, Spain, and Italy as Perfect Edition. And I have all of them. Yep, I own every single Legendary Edition of the Legend of Zelda Manga Series. It's beautiful. There are a few things that are special about the Legendary Edition compared to the original print. First off, the manga that were split into 2 parts were combined into 1 book, like Ocarina of Time and 4 Swords. As for the single volume manga though, they were paired together as one, as is the case with Oracle of Ages and Seasons, A Link to the Past and Majora's Mask, and Phantom Hourglass and the Minish Cap. Another special thing about these versions is that the first few pages of the manga are fully in color, which is actually kind of a big deal considering that most manga are completely in black and white. And other than some small tweaks in the dialogue and the things I mentioned earlier, the Legendary Editions and the original prints of the manga are completely the same. And with these being technically special editions, it's a given that these are gonna cost more, with the Amazon pricing being listed at $18 a pop. Yep, I can hear the shivering of wallets all across the world in fear of the impending spending spree that is soon to come. Anyways, each manga is a retelling or reimagining of the game's original story. That being said, there are some deviations in the manga that aren't in the original game. But even with the deviations, the manga still manages to stay tried and true to the original source material. One of my absolute favorite manga-only moments is in Ocarina of Time, where young Link adopts a young Volvagia from Hyrule Castletown for the intent of sending it free. However, Volvagia doesn't really take too kindly to Link and starts biting him and messing around with him. Link and Volvagia eventually grow a bond together, and Volvagia ends up saying Link's name as thanks for her freedom. Later in the future, the twin Rova sisters hypnotize Volvagia to do their dirty work, and it's up to Link to slay her to stop all the trouble that's brewing about on top of Death Mountain. But Link can't bring himself to kill her, because of the bond that they shared in the past. Eventually, Link decides it's the right thing to do, to save the Gorons and put Volvagia out of her misery. And in Volvagia's dying breath, as a final thank you, Volvagia whispers Link's name one last time.
No, I'm not crying. You're crying.
Another one of my favorite deviations in the manga series is how they portray those affected by the Dark World in A Link to the Past. Take a good guess why. Also, A Link to the Past was the first manga, or first reading material in general, that made me audibly go, oh no, whenever Link was transforming into a beast. All I gotta say for that is, excellent work, guys. You really had me hooked there. But as of now, my absolute favorite manga in the series has got to be The Legend of Zelda 4 Swords. Now, the 4 Swords manga is actually based off of The Legend of Zelda 4 Sword Adventures, or 4 Swords Plus, for the Nintendo GameCube, which is a sequel to the original 4 Swords on the Game Boy Advance. My absolute favorite thing that they did with the manga was that they gave the 4 Links personalities. Green was the determined leader, Red is the optimistic, naive one, Blue is the hot-headed, short-tempered one, and Purple, or Vio, is the calm, smart one. Their personalities bounce off of each other quite well, and I find it very unique that the 4 Links all each represent a part of the original Link. But of course, I'm going to have to call out the elephant in the room. Mainly involving Shadow Link and Purple Link. In the game, Shadow Link was more of a foil for the player. He would constantly cause trouble for the Links and trip them up. In the manga, he acts more or less the same, except he has a more dark, mischievous, and playful nature, almost gothic-like. And a character like that can only attract one kind of person on the internet. The fangirls. Well, to be fair, I guess the concept of Shadow Link would honestly draw any fangirl in like that. Fangirls eat gothic shit like that up all the time. I mean, have you seen Black Butler? But the second biggest piece of this has to do with the 4th Link, Purple Link, or Vio as he's called in the manga. There's a part in the manga whenever the Links get separated by a tornado, and they end up in different lands. And Shadow Link ends up hypnotizing Violet Link into thinking that he's on the dark side. Yep, you can see where I'm going with this. I'm calling out the Shadow X Vio ship. Simply Google searching this term will pull up tons and tons and tons of gay ship or yaoi fan art, which for someone like me would warrant curling up into a corner and crying. Now, don't get me wrong, I have nothing against gay relationships or gay ships in general. But this is just wrong. And is the prime example of a typical fangirl. Making something gay because it just so happens to seem like it's gay. And technically, since Vio is part of the original Green Link, it technically implies that Link may be secretly gay, and I don't want politics in my Zelda games, okay? It makes me big sad. And to add more fuel to the fire, both Vio and Shadow Link can be seen together on the cover page of the Legendary Edition. Well, congratulations, fangirls. I now feel sorry for the next person who has to play Purple Link in Four Swords. And I'm thankful to say that the manga isn't exactly canon. It's just a simple retelling of the game stories with a slight twist. They're a pretty good read, especially for a Zelda fan like me. So if you're interested, go ahead and pick some of these up if you can. Now let me hear your thoughts. What are your thoughts on the Legend of Zelda manga, or the Legend of Zelda series as a whole? Tell me down in the comment section down below. If you liked this video and want to see more like it, make sure to hit that like button, and share this video with your friends. If you like this kind of content and want to see more of it, why not hit that subscribe button? Oh, don't forget to hit the little bell too, so you won't miss a single upload. Well, till next sunrise, stay safe my friends.